Hey guys, it's been like what, 2 months since we uploaded something for the channel. I know, I know what he said. That we're gonna try to upload a lot and everything. Well, that didn't turn out as planned. So I'm the only member right now. Well, not the only member in the channel, but I mean like the other members are not here with me at the moment. So just wanted to say apologize for all not actually doing what we were supposed to do. A lot of things came up right when we were getting things ready and just yeah, but we're back. And this video right now is gonna be a deck list from one of the decks you saw from that match that we uploaded 2 months ago. That's what you're gonna see basically right now. You're gonna see the Royal deck list, Royal Paladin deck list, because my team member that I battled in that match isn't here right now. Hopefully we get him to do a deck list soon. And I think for now I might do deck lists to show you guys videos for you guys, and hopefully you'll get to see those deck lists in future those decks in future matches. But for now, this video is just gonna be a deck list for the World Paladin. So first off, the deck uses Force 1. That's all it is. It's Force 1 for this deck. I don't know where to put it. I think I'll just put it right here. But now, first, my starter, which is some names I have trouble with, and hopefully I could try to get all the cards to show in this angle. Anyway, next I have 4 heals, like you should. If I ever see anyone with less than 4 heals, you're a mad person. Because I don't know if that's even allowed. You could use less than 4. If it is, then if you do use less than 4, that's allowed, then you're a crazy person. Next, I have 6 criticals for this deck. Reason being is we thought of using a lot more. It was actually a lot of criticals at one point, but it just, I don't know, we just lowered it down to 6. Alright, now my 6 draw triggers, 4 of them being perfect guards, while the other 2 just being normal draw units. I'm sorry guys about that thing. No, just do it like this. All of it won't fit in the camera, so I'm just do it like that. All right, now for my grade 1s, I run 4 of Wingal Brave. Honestly, this deck is mostly just blasters, but I know Wingal doesn't really have a blaster in his name, but his thing searches for a blaster, which helps a lot for this deck. All right, now I have 4 of Blaster Dagger, because his effect is it could boost other units. That's if, because all my fields have blasters in it, and he may return to my hand if my Vanguard with Arc Saver or Blaster hits the Vanguard, and he could return to my hand if he's in the field, and then again if it hits. Next, Blaster Javelin. He gains just 2,000 if I have an Arc Saver or Blaster in my Vanguard. This unit gets 2,000. As the second effect, I could choose a opponent's front row unit and bind it. But that's if there's 6 blasters in my field, which actually does help a lot. Next, let me do this first. All right, next, I have 3 star called Trumpeter. She is a real good card for this deck, blaster deck. Reason being is because her effect is when placed, counterblast, soul blast 1, return a card with blaster in its card name, and a card with wind, light, and darkness intersects, right? Something like that from the drop zone. So I could return, lets me get a blaster in my hand and that option card. Just the card, the order card. Especially does good with blaster dark and blaster blades, since if I could get them, get that, and I could just get them out really quick. All right, now as I run 4 of blaster blade, his effect being in the Vanguard circle, which is when you have 4 or more rear guards, he gets critical. And his main effect, which is the second one, is when placed, counterblast 1, soul blast 1, choose one of your opponent's rear guards in the front row and retire it. Yeah, main effect, which everyone I mostly love to do. Now I have 4 of blaster dark. Oh, I keep moving this thing. I'm so sorry. And when placed, counterblast 1, your opponent chooses, they choose this time, he's different from his or her rear guards and retires it. And his second effect, which only works on Vanguard, if your opponent has no rear guard, discard a card and he gains a drive, which actually does help a lot. So if I'm actually starting with him in the battle, and it's my turn to go to my turn, and I'm really gonna go to grade 2, and if he's in my hand, put him in, because he will help a lot. Get 2 cards in my hand already when he drives. Next, only do 2 order cards of when light and dark intersects. I hope I'm saying that right. And either way, it's just simple. It just search if I have blaster dark or blade in the field, just put it on the field, and I could search for the opposite card. If blaster blade's out, I could search for blaster dark. If blaster dark's out, I could search for blaster blade. If both of them are out, I could use it to help me get a Majesty Lord, which you're about to see in a bit, because I run 4 copies of him. 4 copies, and his effect, which is the first effect, it works on rearguard circle as well. And if Blaster Blade and Blaster Dark are in your soul, this unit gains a critical. And if it's in the Vanguard circle, it gains 5,000 and plus 1 drive. So 3 drive when I'm attacking, if he's on the Vanguard circle. Which helps a lot. I always try to keep with him in the battle for a while before I try to move into Messianic, to make sure I have a bunch of cards in my hands. Anyway, back now to Messianic. Lord Blaster, during your turn on Vanguard circle, if you have 6 units with Blaster in their different card names, this unit gets the original attack and critical of all your rear guards. So basically, Messianic is just, I guess, a good finisher Or, yeah, in a way, good finisher. But if your opponent's using perfect guard, that's fine, that's cool. But hopefully, you say you don't have any blasters in your field, hopefully you could drive check some to bring them out so you can have other card units to attack. So either way, if they stop it, it's fine. Maybe hopefully you just pull a blaster instead, so you could bring them out. And last but not least, who's basically just also, I guess, I wouldn't say a finisher. He just Exculpate the blaster. My grade 4, only one copy of him. And the reason being is when placed, counterblast, choose one card from your soul and put all the other cards from the soul into the drop. So I get to keep one card from the soul. And I always have to make sure that one card that stays in the soul is Blaster Blade. And here's the reason why. Well, anyway, let me first read the first effect. It goes, when I do his first effect right, he could attack all the card units on the field, right, from my opponent's field. So it's basically to help destroy their opponent's field if you see them as like they have so much cards and so much units in their field. I need to even things out. Exculpate comes in, but I only have one copy of him, which I do if you want to build a deck like this, which I do recommend, because you don't really need more than one copy of him. Now, sorry, let me move on to his second effect. His second effect, which is at the end of the battle, it attacked, put 2 cards from your hand into your soul. Retire this unit and ride a Blaster Blade from your soul as stand. And if you did not ride, you lose. Which is why I always make sure to start when I battle to make sure I build up to Messianic first. I'm sorry. They both start with them. Majesty Lord. The reason being, because I didn't raise his second effect. I'm sorry, but his second effect is when he attacks, put 2 rear guards into your soul and get an imaginary gift. So the plan I usually do here's a little advice. What I usually do is try to either build up and make sure to have one of these 2 in my hand in when we start, which is grade 1, then grade 2 when it's my turn again, to either put one of these. Then when you finally get to the turn, when you're writing, I recommend Majesty Lord, because you can use the second effect to get the second blaster to a soul. So if you ever want to use Exculpate, you don't have to worry about not having Blaster Blade in the soul, because you have them, because you build it up to use Majesty Lord's effect to get them the critical and the power. So yes, that's the deck list of this. It's Force 1, 4 heals, 6 criticals, 6 draws. Everyone else's is blasters. As you can see, the only ones that are not blasters, which is Wingal Brave and Star Trumpeter. The reason being is because they help me get the blasters I need. So they help me search. And I'll say that would be it. But I guess with each deck list I do for my decks, I'll give a little advice. And the advice for this deck, I would say stick with Force 1. But if you want to try out Force 2, go ahead, because I never really seen anyone use Force 2 with this kind of deck. So that's pretty much it. I never really seen anyone use that. That's the kind of advice I got. So if you want to try Force 2 for it, by all means, go ahead. No one's stopping you. It's your choice. But for me, I recommend just Force 1. And try to make sure you have more than like 8. I guess 8 or 7 Force 1 markers would do. If you plan on doing Force. Because yeah, you may need a lot of it. yeah, that should be it, everyone. And if you do want to build a deck list, this same kind of deck, I mean, either way, but I will leave the names of, I put in the description of each card and how many you will need. And if you want to go by this idea and mix it up, change it up a bit, go ahead, by all means. I wouldn't mind. Just a little, that's why I just had to give you a little heads up for this deck, which I'm going to do for every video. For the deck list I do, I will give a little advice for each deck I use, if you plan on using them. So hopefully, I'll see you guys in the next video. And hopefully I'll get to my member to do a deck list of his Kagero deck that he used. And I'll see you all in the next one.